All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to another awesome edition of BB Nation Radio. Coming at you live from the Cowboy Technology Studios 3.0 here at the end of the Oregon Trail here in Oregon City, Oregon. As always, I'm your host, J-Dub, and with me tonight, as always, are my awesome co-hosts. First off, Miss Mariah, the sexy girlfriend.
Oh, sexy girlfriend!
And as always, my fellow U.S. Army veteran, our resident outdoor expert, my good buddy, Mr. Jonathan Toole, the Dapper Sapper.
Here's Johnny. Stop rookie bitch.
And as always, the man, the myth, the legend behind the scenes, the high-tech redneck himself, good old Josh.
The high-tech redneck.
So, folks, while you're watching, be sure you head on over, click the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that little bell there down below so that way you get a notification every time that us fine folks here on Backwoods Veterans Media coming up with the live feed or when we upload some new outstanding content that you can catch only right here on our YouTube channel. And be sure to check out our Facebook page over there at Backwoods Vets and our official page of backwoodsvets.com. So, with that being said, I want to give a quick shout out to our friends and our sponsors over at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com for all your shooting, reloading, and tactical needs, whatever they may be, whether shopping in store up in Sandy, Oregon, or shopping online. Be sure to hit up Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com. And again, be sure to check out all the outstanding entertainment that we have to offer here on Backwoods Veterans Media, whether it's here on our YouTube channel or over on our on the Spreaker app for all our fine shows. And we have one event coming up on the calendar, and that is our second annual Guitars for Stars coming up Saturday, May 23rd. That is at the Beaver Creek Saloon there in Beaver Creek, Oregon. Benefiting who? None other than the Fallen Outdoors. And what road is that on there, Josh?
That's on Beaver Creek Road.
Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure that you got that written down there. So got a lot of great stuff that we're going to have for raffle. Trying to put together a silent auction. Going to have some great acts coming out. First off, we have Richie Redneck Pimp King. You can see him every week over there on VRS, over there on WO Radio. He's also with the Veterans of Comedy as well, and those guys are outstanding crew. Looking forward to him coming out and being our guest MC for the event, as well as our friends from the bands December and Sinners Like Us, as well as many, many more that we have in the works. So it's going to be an awesome time, going to be a great event benefiting a great cause. So if you're in the area, please come on out and hang out with us. I promise you will not be disappointed. So with that being said, that moves us into our roundtable. And first off, John, what's new? What's happening, brother?
Oh, it's been a wonderful and busy week. We have some pretty cool stuff to go over in the outdoor segment, and we'll get to then that we're going to announce for G4S actually. And yeah, I bought a safe yesterday too.
Nice.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's been kind of a busy week, and now I got to work on getting the garage completely reorganized again.
Again.
That's always fun.
We've got a safe coming in like the next week or so. So
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, good. Making progress on my shoulder, as you guys can see. I can
Hey, he's not chicken wing anymore.
so the sling officially, except for when I'm at home, comes off on Friday. Yeah, doing pretty good. Good deals. Good deals.
Good deals.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. Mariah?
Oh my goodness, it's been a week, that's for sure. I enjoyed so much of the nice weather outside. Went and cut part of this off that I get glares at from the guys. Well, high tech does.
Yeah, I'm not glaring.
I took about 4 inches off my hair for the first time in about a year.
I couldn't even tell.
Well, yeah, you can see there's the bottom of it now.
It's layered like no other right
Yes.
now. So I mean,
It is. I like
good.
it. It's gonna be nice for summer and everything. And then spent some time with my horse and everything, and of course, and went and took an awesome class yesterday, put on by Eric's Armory. So
yeah, that one kind of took a
if
strange
you're
turn.
interested in a great CHL class, definitely check out Eric's Armory.
Second the motion.
Other than that, not been doing a whole lot.
High tech?
Well, hello.
Yeah.
It's a busy week for me. Did about 900 miles of traveling there for work between Tuesday morning at 4 a.m. and Friday afternoon there by about 2. So lots of good stuff going on there. Hopefully the traveling's going to cut down a little bit now that we've made our rounds. And other than that, we actually were a little bit busy this week, or the end of this week, working here on the studio.
Yes.
Studio 3.0. So
Yes.
yeah, we've graduated. Well, actually, so technically, isn't this Studio 4.0?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
How is it?
So
4.0?
it started in the kitchen, right?
Yep.
There,
Okay.
There,
There's
Mariah's.
To be
Okay.
fair.
Then we moved after at episode 3, and we moved over to the trailer, the
No,
first
actually,
trailer.
episode 3 was in the trailer.
That's what I
Okay.
just said.
Yeah.
Episode 3, we moved to the trailer,
Oh, I thought
That's
you said
2
after
moves.
episode 3.
No.
My bad.
and then I don't remember what episode it was, but like 14 or 15, somewhere in there, we
Yeah, it was
moved
somewhere.
into the
The
big
big
trailer, right?
That's 3.
The Tajma trailer, as
Yeah.
my brother likes to call it. And now we actually have built a studio room
Yeah.
in the big house here.
Yeah.
So that'd
We
be
in the
Yeah.
they in the
4.0.
big house now.
we in the big house. So
So yes, that'd be 4.0.
yeah, so it's been busy. So we're still working out some of the kinks and whatnot, and got some lighting work to do and all
yeah.
that. But yeah, it's all good stuff. So
Yeah, as you can tell by the camera feed, at least it's weird seeing Mariah. Like Carl said, it's weird being at the same table as Mariah. But the one thing
It
that's
is
gonna
really
be
weird.
great about it is that on the nights where John is in studio with us, yes, the
Next
Eiffel
weekend.
Towers. The Eiffel Towers can commence once again.
And you know what's really great about this is you're within smacking distance now.
Next weekend, I will be in Studes.
Woohoo! That'll be awesome. Gonna be great. But no,
We have,
it,
well,
Oh,
I
that's
have
weird.
this weekend, next weekend over there with you guys. So
very
oh,
nice.
Joyce.
Hey, you know what? It'll be nice having you over on this side for once and actually hanging out in the studio with you once again.
I think I'm gonna put you two on one end.
No,
you're going to put really.
you don't say.
Set them. at
nobody
one
puts
end.
baby in the corner.
Did
Wait, does
John
Mariah
just
get
call
that
himself-
reference?
Did John just call himself baby?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
Wait,
He's like, wait a second.
He's like, what do you mean?
no,
What are you
hold on,
talking
no,
about?
hold on. No, I'm perfectly fine with calling myself that. Does Mariah get that reference? Do you know the movie?
We're gonna go with that puppy dog eyes look there and say no.
No.
Damn!
How about no?
Yeah. How about no?
Justin, if you would please.
The honor's all yours, good sir.
Fucking Dirty Dancing.
Yes.
You haven't seen Dirty Dancing?
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick
Okay.
Swayze.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why? Because I had the time of my life.
So the other thing that actually happened this week is I took my daughter to a daddy-daughter dance.
Oh, you did
on Friday,
yeah.
and that was a pretty good time. We did
Nice.
that over at her church that she goes to with her mom, and got to. It was of course, a Western theme sort of night. Did some line dancing.
Oh, that's right up
That's
your
like-
alley.
Yeah.
I know, right? Exactly. And they had a rope and dummy out there. They had some cornhole. It was fun. So of course, I go over to the rope and dummy, and I'm, watching everybody else doing it, and I'm like, here, let me show you how to do this.
Right?
They probably looked
oh
at you
my
like,
God,
what?
Carl, yes.
So then, interesting to note, the guy who was signing everybody in, he kind of calls me over and he says, "Hey," he goes, "You rope a lot and all that?" And I said, "Well, not so much anymore. I used to,
Yeah.
fair amount and all
Way
that."
back
and
when.
And I've hung around the rodeos, a lot and everything like that. And turns out he ends up working at a buffalo farm out in
Ooh.
Redland.
Yes.
And so he started telling me where all the buffalo farms actually are now. So
Nice.
interesting to note.
Tatonka.
Yeah, that's always fun.
The Tatonkas.
Tatonka.
So, right
So
on,
how about
right
you,
on.
Mr. JW?
Oh, man.
Papa W?
Yeah, counting down the weeks till that becomes official.
How long until that is official?
Isn't it like little over 8 weeks or something
I'm
like
gonna
that
look
last
this up
I
really
checked.
quick.
Oh my God, she's gonna do the math. No, it's been good. Been very hectic and chaotic this week at work, but other than that, just had a surprise CHL class on Saturday.
7.5 weeks.
Oh my God.
That is if she is on her due date.
Yeah, on the due date. But anyhow, no, did a fun CHL class with those guys over there from Eric's Armory with Jesse and Julie. Got a chance to hang out with them for a while yesterday, all 5 hours of it. But it was glorious because now we got our paperwork and training done for the Arizona permit on top of the Oregon permit.
So does that mean that you proved that Mariah can actually be trained?
Yes.
Okay.
We had fun with the simulator, let's just say.
So, but no, it was cool because not only did we get to hang out with Jesse and with Jesse and Julie, but Miss Inga, the taco maker, made it out. Miss Waterfall was there with us. Taco maker,
she's now Miss Injury Fall.
Injury Fall.
Oh, I was calling her Fire Bubble. Because she needs a bubble suit to not hurt herself.
That woman needs a full-on bubble wrap.
I
suit.
figured her new nickname is Fire Bubble.
Oh my God.
So then she's safe.
Alrighty then.
That poor woman, she is so injury prone. We were giving her a bad time too because I guess she had a bad cut at work. Almost took the tip of her left middle finger off, so she couldn't do the finger burning.
That wasn't at work.
It was not at work. It
That
was at home.
Oh, it was at home?
She was cutting a roll
told
of
me
vet
it was
wrap.
at work.
No,
She's
she was cutting a roll of vet wrap.
Oh my
told you that.
God. And it was funny because the first picture I get is her finger all bandaged up and the tip of it is like a big old ball. I was like, you have a matchstick for her finger now?
I just walked, when she walked in, I looked at her, I was, oh, good morning. How are you? And I get that right back.
Not too often do you get all of this neatness in one location.
Right. But no, it was a good time. So got to hang out with those guys and did that, and then talked to you on the telly going, hey, by the way, it's time to set up the new studio. Oh, maybe you don't say.
Yeah, buddy.
And yeah, put in some hours in this place. That is faux show, but it's nice because now we got the big monitors up here on the wall and everything else. Because you have one where we got a live feed for what we have going on, what we see right now, and then the next one up there is actually we can sit there. We have the show up on the screen as it's feeding through on YouTube. It can actually go along with all the comments and everything else. And that frees my monitor up here on the table for being able to go over news stories and everything else and the script and whatnot. So it's awesome. I like it. I like it a lot. And you like it too because you're not cooped up behind the counter anymore.
He almost has more room than what we got.
I've got about the same amount of room actually that I had in there.
Oh, but you got more leg room though.
But I've got more leg room, and
That's
is
what
nice.
I'm saying.
That is nice.
So, alrighty. Well, with that being said, that pretty much wraps up our week in review. So, what do you say, John? You ready, good sir?
I am so ready for this.
All right, let's do it. Let's move into our outdoor segment with our good buddy John. This outdoor segment is brought to you in part by Eric's Armory. And now, for your outdoor segment host,
Here's Johnny.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
Oh man, yes, it is indeed pretty neat tonight. What is up, guys? I am your co-host for the outdoor segment, John, also known, you guys know me as Dapper Sapper. So this week, we're going to start off with an announcement for G4S. I am pleased, along with everybody else on our team, to announce that we are going to announce the rifle tonight.
Woo-hoo!
What we're doing. Some of you guys know, and some of you guys probably partook in the poll that J-Dub put out here not too long ago. And, well, you guys spoke, and we have provided. So with my partnership that I spent part of my week in review was I've been corresponding with a contact that I made at TriggerCon this last year. I'm not going to say his name, but he is the vice president of marketing and sales for Aero Precision. Aero Precision is sponsoring G4S this year. They have provided a build kit for an M5 AR-10 platform, 308 caliber semi-automatic rifle. So they delivered it to Eric's Armory last week, and we're going to get ready to start building this damn thing here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Nice.
The big news also comes from a personal contact of mine. Sig Sauer is an official sponsor of G4S this year. The Sig Sauer, and I'm not saying that as like, oh, they're just sending us something. They've given me the blessing to say that they are a sponsor of our event this year. They have donated a Whiskey 3 rifle optic.
Woo! Very nice.
So that'll be in the shop here soon. And Josh, if you would please, we'll give you a sneak peek of the rifle.
Oh, look at that. That's a whole lot of sexiness in a box right there.
Yeah, here is the AR-10 platform, the M5 E1 308 build kit from Aero Precision. That color, that Cerakote that's on there is an unreleased Cerakote that it has not been produced yet. So this rifle, you guys, is truly, 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 truly one of a kind. There is no other rifle that'll have this particular Cerakote out there on the market. So with that, we're still getting some parts, so we'll keep updating as time goes on. We do have some other sponsors for the event that have come in already. We'll release those at later dates as we get further and further, closer and closer to the event. But yeah, so that's the build. It's
Very nice.
Same as next year, but stand by for further details on that. So,
Exactly.
yeah. What do you guys think?
I love it, dude.
Looks awesome.
I absolutely love it. I'm excited. I really am. Get this thing built, and because we got to do like we did last year. Got to make sure it works before we raffle it off.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So,
That's probably the most exciting part, really.
Right?
Yeah, because it's the test fire is going to be good because there's going to be a lot of other things we can test fire too.
Yes, there will be.
Giggity, giggity.
So yeah, you guys, this is going to be pretty special this year. Like I said, this is absolutely a one of a kind rifle that's been donated to us by one of the biggest weapons manufacturers in the country, along with an optic from arguably the largest and one of the most popular weapons manufacturers in the country.
And what's even better is they're right down the street from us.
Yep.
Well, you know what's pretty awesome is that these are all Pacific Northwest companies, and that they do all this work and everything. It's pretty neat.
Yeah,
It's pretty neat.
that is
Play the clip.
very neat. Yeah, you
Come on, Josh.
spin it.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
There it is. You heard it right there.
So, yep, stand by for the flyers coming out on this. You will see flyers with Aero Precision's logo and Sig Sauer's logo on it. They've been amazing companies to work with so far. I couldn't be happier with working with those guys. Basically, they said, whatever you guys need, just let me know. And, it's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm truly humbled by that. Especially the support coming from SIG. That's I didn't really expect that. I'll be 100% honest. They're a major defense contractor, and we're just, we're getting there. We're growing, but we're just little old backwoods veterans. And they're like, yeah, what do you guys need for an optic? And by the way, whatever you guys need for promotionals, here you go.
Heck yes.
So
Take what we can get.
And I mean we were able to make it work. So that's that's awesome that we're able to get this build out.
yeah, that means we can give more money this year to TFO, and we'll get this thing going. But yeah, stand by, you guys, for more to come on this rifle as we start getting it put together. We're still in the process of getting all the parts for it because I'm not gonna lie, this rifle, as opposed to the RCF rifle, is a little bit more expensive than last year. So we're trying to. And with SHOT Show this year, SHOT Show kind of cleaned out all the major manufacturers this year. So getting parts is a little tricky at the moment. It's a waiting game. So
We'll get there though.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
We're gonna get there, and we're gonna deliver an awesome rifle for you guys. And like last year, buy a ticket. I'm telling you, come to the event, buy a ticket. The person last year that won the RCF rifle put 2 tickets in.
You never know. You can't win it at all if you
$30.
don't buy any tickets at all.
There were people that spent hundreds of dollars on tickets last year, including myself, that didn't win, and the person that spent $30 and put 2 tickets in walked away with an incredible rifle.
Yes, they did.
Yep, you never know.
And they
Never
absolutely
know.
love it.
Absolutely. So with that, we'll move into more of the outdoor segment, unless we got anything else on this subject.
All I can say is that thing is going to be badass, man.
Yeah. Oh, and I got word today that the stock and the grip are on the way because I was able to get those donated. So
Awesome.
Nice.
full Magpul furniture kit, and those will be on the way
Heck
Thus-
yeah.
in matching colors too, so we won't have to go to.
Ooh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, yeah, I know I'm going to be dumping some money on that pig.
Yeah, $15 a raffle ticket. Show up to the event.
No.
You better be working the corner.
If you win it, that's going to come mine because you're building yours.
No, it's not. They're both going to be mine. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey,
Sharing is caring.
You can use the 300.
And Karen Sharon.
And if you really want, I know a great place where you can go where we can build one of your own. It's called Eric's Armory. I'm just saying. Anyhow.
Saying that,
My
so
phone
with
just
that,
froze.
this is also in partnership with, of course, our outdoor sponsor, Eric's Armory, because I do not have an FFL, so I cannot take possession of that beautiful rifle kit, even though, by all definitions, technically to the invoice, it is mine.
Oh, here he goes.
Just kidding. But seriously, it's mine.
Real quick, I want to throw out a couple hellos to people who've checked in the comments here.
Oh, yes.
We've got Miss Injury Fall, Miss Annie,
Fire bubble.
Fire Bubble. Yeah, we'll come up with a
You're gonna have
good
to
name for her.
Yeah.
Carl, he's out there, and he did have a message saying hi to your mom there, Justin. But
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, he retracted it, the first one.
Oh, was it that good?
No balls.
He didn't say what I think he said, did he?
He said the first one.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh.
He said the first
Carl,
one.
no balls.
So let's see. We got Richie King, San Osayo, checking in.
Looking forward to seeing him at G4S.
Absolutely. Mentioned Mom in there. Miss Katrina Stanley from out in the living room there in Kentucky.
Yep.
And Mr. or Mrs., depending on which show you're watching, Mr. Pterodactyl. And good buddy Pete and your stepdaughter Kelly.
Yes.
Just,
With grandbaby
checked in
on
to say
board.
hi.
Yes, with grandbaby on the way. So,
All right, sorry about that, John.
No, we're good. So with that, please, you guys, go check out Eric's Armory at ericsarmory.com. Check out their Instagram or their Facebook at Eric's Armory. Absolutely go check out their stuff. Justin and Mariah just went and did the concealed carry class this weekend with them. They do concealed carry classes. They're certified NRA instructors. They have a wide variety of pretty much everything and anything that you can get your hands on. I will give them a huge shout out because my personal build that I've got going on right now was looking like it was going to be on hold for quite a bit longer because I'm waiting on some Geisley parts. Well, Eric and I found a way around it. And
Very nice.
they'll be done hopefully here before the event.
By the way, just FYI, their next concealed class is March 21st.
Absolutely.
there we go.
And if you want to attend that one, you guys need to contact Eric's Armory.
For sure.
And
For sure.
don't flake.
No. Don't do-
You can also go to ericsarmory.com and click on Eric's Armory Training, and then click on the concealed classes, and it'll come up and give you that option so you can sign up right there too.
Absolutely.
So with that, please go check them out, you guys. They're amazing. They're also our really good friends, so please go check them out. They will treat you like family and give you some of the best products and the best customer service you could ever hope to imagine.
And speaking
So-
of Eric's Armory, Mr. Jesse just popped in.
Hi-oh. He's like, I'm just getting here. Thanks for the shout. Absolutely, brother. Anytime.
Yes, sir. So with that, let's go ahead and move into the regular scheduled broadcasting for the outdoors segment, which we're going to talk about the Oregon coast this weekend. This kind of came about because I went on a trip to the Oregon coast not very long ago. to one of my favorite childhood places. And if you guys haven't been to the Oregon coast, especially for our East Coast watchers and those of you that are stranded in central United States that aren't anywhere near an ocean, you should get out and see the ocean at some point. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is pretty neat.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
So the area that we're going to talk about a little bit is this awesome place called Cape Perpetua. It's just a little bit south of Yaw Huts, about 5 miles south of a town called Yaw Huts on the Central Oregon coast. So literally it's the center coast of Oregon on the west coast. It's pretty neat. If you're expecting sandy beaches, you're going to be disappointed because there aren't any really until you go north into Newport. It's all rocky, cliffy, awesome. If you're into big waves and some extreme weather sometimes, this is the place for you, because it gets pretty intense over here. Have you guys all been to Cape Perpetua and Yaw Huts in that area?
Yes.
That's where Cassie and I went for spring break last year, and I think we showed a few pictures of those last year.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through there, but not there.
This place is awesome. I used to go vacationing here as a kid with my family and another English family, actually, that my dad had known from since before I was born, and then I grew up with this family and their kids, and they're some of my oldest friends to this day. But we used to do 2 summer trips every year. We used to do one to the coast at the beginning of summer, and then our camping trip at the end of summer before school. But we'd always go to Yaw Huts because it offered some of the best outdoor adventure activities for as far as coasting goes in some ways. So let's go ahead and hit the next picture, Josh.
There you be.
So that picture is from the top of Cape Perpetua looking out over the ocean. I don't know what it is. I tend to get pretty lucky when I go to the coast, and usually, at least most of the time that I'm there, the weather is pretty freaking nice. This was our second day there, and the weather was absolutely, well, you can see it. It's spectacular. It's beautiful. Good views, warm weather. It was really warm compared to here at home where it's in the 30s and 40s during the day, and there it was in the high 60s.
Probably like a heat wave to you then.
Oh, it was funny. Like we walked into the grocery store in Yaw Huts, and people were looking at me and Katrina funny because we had t-shirts on, and everybody else was bundled up in jackets and rain gear and all kinds of stuff. And it was like it was like legitimately 64 degrees outside. It was really warm. But anyway, so Cape Perpetua, a little bit of history on it. Towering 800 feet over the protected marine garden shoreline, the Cape Perpetua headland is the highest viewpoint accessible by car on the Oregon coast. On clear days, views extend 37 miles out to sea and along 70 miles of coastline. Cape Perpetua scenic area, encompassing 2,700 acres of coastal habitat, was set aside for unique ecological characteristics found where temperate spruce rainforest transitions to the sea. Literally, it transitions to the sea in a cliff, as you can see.
Right.
Early explorer Captain James Cook first observed the headland in 1778 and named it after St. Perpetua. In 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt formed the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, and Cape Perpetua became a base camp for young men to learn skills in the wilderness, in the woods. Many of the campgrounds, trails, and plantings you see are the work of the CCC. Cape Perpetua Visitor Center is open, blah, 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 7 days a week. I'm not even going to read that part.
Did he just say what I thought he said?
Yeah, he did.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Don't say blah, blah, blah.
Okay, I didn't just hear that.
Yes, you did just hear that. It's okay. Shh, easy white chocolate. Easy. Anyways, anybody that's been here, there's like 26 miles of hiking trails, most of it along the coastline. You have multiple tide pools and different inlets and chasms that you can check out that are literally carved out of the rock in the cliff faces by the ocean. And on storm days, like the first day, which we'll get to, that we were out there, storm watching out on this portion of the Oregon coast is amazing. It's awesome.
Epic.
It's scary. It's frightening, but it's an adrenaline rush and it's fun. And as long as you're not afraid to get wet. I didn't say moist. But I just,
There it is.
Moist.
but I just as it gets moist.
Moist.
It gets
Moist?
downright
Moist?
sopping, drenching, soaking, wet, moist.
Moist.
Don't look at me. It's not me this time.
Hey, it's the coast. What do you expect?
Fair enough.
Moist. Next picture,
Moist.
please, if you would, kind sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is the actual the chasm that James Cook first discovered when he discovered Cape Perpetua. It's called Cook's Chasm. It's this long channel that you see in the rock there where the ocean just funnels in, and you can see some of the most gnarly wave crashes possible. It's also incredibly dangerous, and me being silly, I like to get as close as I can to some of these rocks and get yelled at by my worried girlfriend that there's breakers breaking 20 feet overhead pretty damn close to me. So yeah, well, it's fun though. It's cool, and I have never experienced anything else like it on the coast, at least on the north coast. Because the further you go north on the Oregon coast from Yaw Huts, the more it flattens out into beaches and dunes and stuff like that. And same thing as you go south towards Florence, then you get more into the dune cities and all that good stuff.
Unless you're out on the jetties, that's about the only time you're going to catch anything remotely close to what they have there at Cape Perpetua.
It's literally the Central Oregon coast. It's this little center section of coastline that's just, well, there's a little bit out by Cannon Beach too, actually.
Why is it you got to make everything about Central Oregon?
I'm just saying it's
all
okay.
about the
central coastline. My bad. Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah, that is a little bit better. Thank you.
Silly pond scum sucker.
Oh,
Lander.
shit.
Don't be jealous.
Oh,
Anyways, next picture.
yeah. Anyhow,
Next picture.
Next.
So this is the Devil's Churn. This is not Cook's Chasm. This is a different little inlet carved into the cliff in the rocks. This one's actually the most extreme one, and if you haven't been to the Devil's Churn, it's crazy on a storm day. So like I said, we were there for one day of storm watching, and it did not disappoint. You get like 20-foot rollers and bigger coming into this narrow channel that's only like maybe I think it's like maybe 16 feet wide at the widest point of the mouth.
Something
maybe
like
20
that,
feet.
yeah.
And then it narrows into a channel that's literally, you can step across it, but when there's big waves and rollers coming into it, that is the last place you would probably want to be.
Oh, yeah, especially on a king tide.
Yeah,
No.
especially on a king tide, which we were there just shortly after the king tide.
Nice.
So things were still ripping pretty good. It was, it did not disappoint. And I think as we go forward, there's more stuff on this. But along these inlets and channels, there's a trail system that basically you can hike almost the entire coastline here, and it puts you up actually pretty high on some of the cliffs at some point. I haven't got to do the whole trail system. I'd really like to at some point, though. It's definitely on the bucket list. But next slide.
Moving right along.
Come on. There we go.
Hey-oh.
So this is down by Cook's Chasm too, at a place called Thor's Well. So that big hillside off in the background is actually the top of Cape Perpetua. There's a shelter actually up at the top of there. It's pretty difficult. You can't really see it in the picture, but it's up there, and it's a nice little photo viewpoint. That's where I got the pictures of the coastline looking south there. But yeah, I was probably like 10 feet away from the edge of the rocks towards the ocean on these ones, and it's a little dicey, but it's fun, and you get to see little sea critters too. So if you're into the whole tide pool thing, going out and checking out the little sea urchins and anemones and stuff, that's pretty neat.
You gotta send that to Josh.
What is
Alrighty then.
I just got a message.
And it is gold. Pure gold. Anyhow, go ahead,
Thank you,
Josh.
Jesse.
Go
I
ahead,
don't even
Josh.
know. Apparently it's about me because you guys aren't saying anything, so I'm just gonna.
Go ahead, John. Move right along, dude.
No, you guys go ahead.
Okay.
You'll find
mean-
out shortly. It's okay.
I mean, you asked for it.
You can keep talking.
No. Oh, no,
Just
it's so
remember
bad.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hell yeah, I've never looked so sexy. I like it. Yeah.
Thanks, Jesse.
Good likeness. I like it.
No,
No, I don't have my hood on, but here, I'll just make it a little bit better. I am pretty hippie.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
sweet Jeebus.
Getting pretty hippie these
Are you
days.
gonna throw your hood up too?
Yeah, if you put your hood up and put your glasses
No, I don't
back
get
on.
anything like
see?
the picture. Anyways,
It's all right.
Oh my God!
You're-
I thought Annie was trying to say something else for a second. I had to take a second look at that comment where she
What?
says, "Well, it's like okay, so I'm not gonna mention what Pete said."
I
And
love
Annie
Tide
said,
Pods.
"Yeah, I thought it said Tide Pods for a second. I was like, what?"
No, you never know.
You're
All right, John, continue on, please.
Anyways, next picture, please, if you would.
You can put your hat back on, really.
No, I like my long shaggy hair. Fuck you guys. Yep, that's it.
Zoinks!
Buzz me. So this is Thor's Well. Thor's Well is a natural sea drain in the rock. I think it's actually unknown how deep it is. It's not like the other blowholes and stuff like that that are around the chasm and further south or further north towards Newport, where it's just basically a cave in the rock where the ocean comes in. This is like an actual legitimate. If you think of like a bathtub drain,
Kind of like
this
the
is
Devil's
like a
Punch
bathtub
Bowl.
drain for the ocean. Have you guys actually been down to see Thor's Well?
I have not.
Nope.
Yes, sir.
Thor's Well's pretty cool, pretty spectacular, and it's actually incredibly dangerous. Multiple people have died going to check out Thor's Well because they fell in and
Oopsie.
sank. Were never seen from again because, like I said, unlike most sea caves that have like a skylight roof that you can go down and check out at low tide, this does not. This is just a bottomless hole that drains into the ocean somewhere. It's cool though because as the tide comes in, it produces these spectacular geysers, and at high tide, as the
That's really
waves come over the rocks, it drains down, and it looks like a legitimate bathtub drain, just draining down into the rock.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. I tried to get some good pictures of that phenomena. It's kind of difficult unless you're there at like perfect high tide or king tide. But I tried. So, but that is some of the ocean coming up out of the Thor's Well. I like that it's named after Thor too. It's pretty. Yeah,
It's pretty
kinda
awesome
makes
that you could
sense.
grab that picture with the spray coming up off the wave.
Yeah, I really love my DSLR when I have it set into sport mode and I can take fast shutter pics and basically action shots. It has a very quick shutter and takes a lot of photos. I have to go through them and kind of suss out which ones are the good ones and which ones we want to use. But
Right.
other than that, I really enjoy
Pretty
that
awesome.
camera. Let's go to the next one. And that's just kind of looking south. I'm not sure what that big rock is down in the distance. Maybe one of you guys knows. I can't remember.
Nope.
It's a little bit further south than
What
yeah,
town is that by?
it's south of Yahuts. So
No.
Cook's Chasm and Perpetua State Park is 5 miles,
Wait,
about
that's
5
not
to
Seal
10,
Rock,
it's like
is it?
5 to 8 miles south of Yahuts.
Further than that.
I don't know.
Cape Perpetua? No, it's like 10 miles south of the city limits of Yahuts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and look it up.
Because Devil's Churn is like literally a 2-minute drive from Yahuts.
Gotcha.
I don't know what that rock is though.
I'm gonna try
It's
and look
big-
it up, John.
Oh, fair enough.
Everyone's
You go
fascinated by
next
this rock.
picture, Leo.
That was the last picture you sent me, my friend.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. But there's a video though. Right?
Oh,
So, yeah,
yes,
did
there
you
is a
have the
video.
video?
Hold on.
There's a video. There's a video of Devil's Churn and me actually getting nervous about losing my camera because girl.
All right, to
So
our
this is-
viewers, let us know if you guys see anything in this.
Yeah. So this is the Devil's Churn. I set up my GoPro probably about between 3 and 5 feet away from the edge of the chasm there. and just trying to see what kind of shots I could get, and a little bit more, not more than I bargained for, but came close. But you can see how the rollers just, the sets as they come in, just, this is not a place you would want to fall into.
By the way, for you Marvel fans, just so you know, if you go north of Yahuts and all that, you can go to Wakanda.
Yes.
Right.
Wakanda
So-
forever.
Yeah, I pulled my camera because that, if you guys noticed, that that set that was coming in was in danger of coming over both sides of the Devil's Churn. But yeah, there's a stairway that leads right down to this, and there's signs that say go down there at your own risk, because it's...
He's just hanging out, just chilling, and
Yeah.
nobody has mentioned what they what's
There's
in there.
that right there in the middle of the chasm, just hanging out. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Just like, oh, you know, there's a duck just chilling in the bowl.
I can't see it.
Yeah, he's just floating along. So anyhow,
But yeah, that's if you guys ever get the opportunity to go to the Oregon coast, especially for those of you that live in the landlocked central United States that watch our show, or you know, any of you East Coasters that maybe aren't quite on the East Coast but are inland a ways and don't go to the ocean very often. Personally, I find the East Coast to be a little lackluster unless you're up in Maine, in, you know, the northeast coast.
right?
Definitely come out and check out the Oregon coast. You won't be disappointed. It's an amazing place. I really enjoy going out there as much as I can. I know Justin and Mariah and Josh do as well. It's a pretty awesome place.
Spend a lot of time out there.
Yes, you have.
Some great hunting out there too, and fishing, and crabbing, and clamming.
Which
And-
clamming? Speaking of clamming,
Yes,
clamming is coming up.
it is.
I know we still didn't settle on a date for getting out and going doing that. We should do that.
We should do
after
that
the
here
show.
soon.
We definitely got to sort that out. Well, we are having our meeting next week, so, and I will be in Studes, so we
Hey!
can discuss this. So,
When I
Alrighty.
when I found your rock was called Shipwreck Rock,
Shipwreck Rock.
that makes sense.
because it looks like
so-
it looks like a ship has wrecked and just the
Right.
bow is out.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
definitely-
So
That definitely makes sense, you know, and all the major features there have really ominous names to them, like Cook's Chasm, the Devil's Churn. Just north of the Devil's Churn, you have the Devil's Punch Bowl, you know,
Yes.
Shipwreck Rock. And there's a reason why they have those names.
You know, it's
There's
like the
so
mouth of the
much-
Columbia is known as what? The
Yep.
graveyard of the Pacific.
yep.
Absolutely. There's a reason why they have those names, because the Oregon coast it has a reputation. And especially down in Newport, Yaquina Bay is one of the most dangerous ports to put in and out of, aside from the mouth of the Columbia.
Depot
The
Bay.
mouth of the Columbia, wasn't that like the name of one of your ex-girlfriends or something?
Only the rich one. Anyhow, moving right along.
So that definitely wraps up the outdoor segment tonight. You guys, please stay tuned for more details and updates on the rifle for G4S this year. And please come out to the event. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Another big thank you to Aero Precision and Sig Sauer for donating the parts to the event so far. There are more donors coming in. As they come in, we'll announce them. And it's not going to be disappointing this year. You guys, please show up to the event. And also go check out Eric's Armory at ericsarmory.com, or check out their Facebook page or their Instagram page at Eric's Armory. Give them a call, see what they can do for you, see about taking a concealed carry class with them. I'm sure Mariah and Justin can attest that
Yes, it was
Do
awesome.
you will
it.
not be disappointed.
Plus,
And
don't you get
also-
to use a simulator too when you do that?
Yes.
Yeah, we're not
And
gonna go
also-
there.
If you're watching live right now, Jesse's in the comments. Ask him a question, hit him up. They do ship to any dealer that has an FFL.
Yes, they
Just so
certainly
you know.
do.
So hit him up. And with that, I will hand it off. That is your outdoor segment for this week.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, John.
Yes. Thank you indeed. All right. Well, what do you say we go ahead and move right on along into our next segment, known as Pops Takes? Hit it, Josh. We hope you brought the aloe and sunscreen.
Bullshit.
because these takes are scorching hot. Now, get ready for some raw,
You went raw?
gritty, and unfiltered takes from the old man, Don himself.
She can't say the truth because if it does, makes her look like an idiot. Because that's what she is.
These are Pop's Takes, right here on BB Nation Radio.
Bullshit.
Old man, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. I just been thinking about what happened on that debate the other night here. It was so ridiculous. I never seen things that bad.
Oh, with the Democratic presidential debate?
Right.
Oh, my God. Bloomberg got eaten alive.
Well, I don't know how he ever made his money. So he's actually, I think, sadistic.
You think so?
He hates everybody but him. And I got the biggest kick out of his new billboard that he put up there down there in Vegas about showing a picture of Trump in a kind of a defensive pose and stuff like.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then a sign underneath that says, Donald Trump is afraid of Bloomberg. I thought
He's
right.
afraid of what he'll do to Bloomberg, maybe, but that's about it.
I never saw anything so silly in my life. It was absolutely ridiculous.
So last week we had talked about with Washington, D.C. wanting to become another state, or at least a lot of people in D.C. wanting it to become another state. To remind our listeners, we kind of discussed it a little bit. There was a big movement for it, but actually there's been some development since then. There's actually now a resolution on the House floor for it to become another state, and the bill is aptly named HR for House Resolution 51. So, and one of the biggest backers of it, Pelosi.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, the whole House of Representatives on the Democratic side just wants to throw away the Constitution completely. They don't care what it says. According to the Constitution, D.C. is a headquarters for the national government, not one state. Now, if all the people wanted to move around there, maybe they ought to section off that people where everybody lives except for the capital area, and then make it a state. But they can't take right at the White House, where Congress meets and everything. That cannot be, according to the Constitution, cannot be part of the state. They don't need another state. They just need to, encompass that area into the state of Maryland. That's all they have to do. And that I could understand, because the people there in Maryland don't believe not in Maryland, but in D.C., really feel like a lot of them that they just don't have a voice in what happens around their state.
Well,
They're
not their state, but their district.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about it. They have a local government, which is all they need.
They don't think so. They think they need to have a representation as like a state, because that way they can. It has to do with their way of their being into the Congress and everything else, having state representatives. These people have moved in there just like anywhere else. They try to move in and take over. I have never seen anything like in the last few years with one political party trying to destroy our Constitution like these liberal Democrats and stuff are right now. They want it thrown out. And I believe I mentioned here Obama actually saying that the Constitution is outdated. We need to get rid of it.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week.
And when I heard that come out of a presidential candidate at the time, hear that come out of his mouth, it just blew me away. They're trying to destroy everything that from the beginning of the United States, even before the Revolution and all that. Mm-hmm. From then on, all the people that fought and died and everything and are paying for it in one way or another, so what? They don't mean nothing. And that really irritates me. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you feel a lot the same way. I mean, a lot of your ideas, I think, are a lot. You think a lot like I do after all these years.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's not like the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree. I mean,
right,
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. I just get furious when these people start trying to destroy our Constitution and what it stands for, and what it's supposed to be.
I mean, it's a document that is. I mean, it's open to interpretation. That's how it was written. It was written for that purpose, but it was also meant to be a document that would stand the test of time for our country and our way of, from how our government operates to how the populace operates from day to day.
Right. What we need to do, if any of those measures like this one here for the wanting to be a state and all that kind of stuff, even if it passes the House and the Senate,
It still has to be ratified.
I think it has to be ratified by a vote of the people, not by one man, the president, but by the people. It has to be put before the people for a vote.
But, I mean,
that's what they keep forgetting. They think that they run the country and not the people, and that's what we're all about. It's all about the individual person being able to have their say and going with the majority, not just a few.
Exactly. Okay, so I actually found this article that I wanted to run by you right quick, and this is actually coming to us out of ThoughtCo. Now, it actually talks about, it says how the article reads how the U.S. statehood process works. And it says that the key takeaways in this is the U.S. statehood process. The U.S. Constitution gives Congress the power to grant statehood, but does not establish the process for doing so. Congress is free to determine the conditions of statehood on a case-by-case basis. Point 2. According to the Constitution, a new state cannot be created by splitting or merging existing states unless both the U.S. Congress and the legislatures of the states involved approve. Point 3. In most cases, Congress has required that the people of the territory seeking statehood vote in a free referendum election, then petition the U.S. government for statehood. U.S. Constitution, Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2. The Congress shall have the power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States. End quote from that article. The typical process is a territory holds a referendum vote to determine the people's desire or for or against statehood. Should a majority vote to seek statehood, the territory petitions the U.S. Congress for statehood. The territory, if it has not already done so, is required to adopt a form of government and constitution that are in compliance with the United States Constitution. The U.S. Congress, both the House and Senate, pass by a simple majority vote a joint resolution accepting the territory as a state. The President of the United States signs the joint resolution, and the territory is acknowledged as a U.S. state. The process of obtaining statehood can literally take decades. For example, consider the case of Puerto Rico and its attempt to become the 51st state.
One point I like to make, though, when you talk about this, you're talking about territories.
Right, I get that.
But that's not a territory.
I know. It's the District of Columbia. It is the national capital.
That's right.
But by this, it still applies. However, the only caveat to it is that it is specified in the Constitution that D.C., the nation's capital, is just that. It cannot be a state. So
it can't be a part of a state.
Correct, because then it's D.C. is not representing the national government. It's only representing itself.
Yeah, right. That's exactly true. And that's what I'm just saying is their processes for territories like Puerto Rico or like Hawaii was or Alaska, territories. A lot of them were U.S., what do they call those, like Puerto Rico and Peru?
Territories.
Territories, yeah. Well, anyhow,
like the Virgin Islands
right.
and so forth and so forth.
Yeah, they are United States territories.
Right.
But that's what that's all about, making the new states and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's like California wanting to divide up. Now, what they're saying with D.C., here's a for instance, okay, the city of Portland, they don't like what's going on in the state of Oregon, right? So they're going to become their own state. You know, it would be the same thing as what it is there in D.C. It's a part of the state, or it's part like the national. It's already laid out on the national map as a capital of the United States. Everybody in the world knows that it's the capital of the United States, and I don't see any logic to making it a state.
No, I understand completely. I mean, it's not just so much as a logic. It's, there's an underlying purpose as to why they're pushing this so hard.
There's one reason you just suggested is that
they want more Democratic representation.
Exactly. They want more Democrats in Congress so they can run things their way.
Exactly.
And they don't care about the people. That's what really bothers me about this whole Democratic Party.
Make sure you're talking in the microphone.
I had family that were Democrat and state Democrats and all that.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't believe it if they saw this right now.
It's a shame to see what
it's
become. I mean, politics anymore it's so party line anymore. It's not even funny.
We need to get away from that party line stuff and get back to our national. All right, you get elected, you work for the country, not for yourself or putting money
you
in
work
your
for
own
your
pocket.
constituents,
Right.
not for yourself.
Right. And all these people want is they want the power in their hand where they can say, you got to live or die. I mean, when I heard that one about the guys Bloomberg was saying it, he said in the past, one of the comments he'd made was, well, if you're 95 years old, we're not going to pay for medication for you because it's not worthwhile. That was one of his comments that came out when
much for life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, right? I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if you're if you're 18 years old or if you're 95 years old.
Well,
the law applies the same.
Even Obama made comments similar to that a long time ago about the elderly, that they've lived long enough. They aren't productive to the to the country.
They've done their time being productive.
I agree, and that's what I'm trying to say.
That's the purpose of their retirement and everything else.
Right. I mean, it's just like with the Medicare and everything else. They talk about free Medicare for all. Well, I can tell you right now that even with Medicare and my VA, and I have to have supplemental insurance, that's according to the Medicare people. If you don't, it costs you more money.
Yeah, exactly. Now let me ask you this, though. So these people talk about not being contributing to society, for lack of a better term. What do they think that you guys do with your retirement pensions and your VA, VA disability and things like that? For those benefits that you've earned from working for so long and putting in your due share. Last I checked, that goes into the economy, right?
Like Social Security, it was not supposed to go into the economy. It was supposed to go into Social Security fund.
Right. No, I get that.
I paid into that from the first day that they established that Social Security.
Well, that's what happens when you're older than dirt, but that's besides the point.
Well, the point is that I paid into that all that time, and then when they some years back here, they found out that Congress had been dipping into it, the Democrats had been dipping into it for other things, which was not supposed to be used. It was supposed to be used strictly for Social Security, which would not be so in dire needs sometimes now, where it had to be supported so much by the government. Now, it would already been there.
Yeah.
If they hadn't stole from it to do other things with it.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, we'll talk more about the Social Security issue here next week, but we need to go ahead and wrap this up. So we will talk more about that next week right here on Pop's Takes, right here on BV Nation Radio. All right. And once again, that was another edition of Pop's Takes right here on BV Nation Radio. Thank you for sticking with us so far. So, oh man. So it looks like we got like a few more people checking in since we went ahead and we did our last shout outs here a little bit ago. Josh, you want to help run down the list?
Let's see. We've got Ms. Jade Lopez, who's checked in with us, and from the Echo Lounge and Blackout Lounge, and Mr. DJ Glenn
from over there,
the Hillbilly Highway.
Yes, awesome. Glad to see him jumping in here. Looking forward to doing the show on the Fence Line Country with him here on Tuesday night. So that is going to be awesome. So he does his show over there at live365.com. They're always cruising around the clock. But DJ Glenn does his show live every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. And he puts on a good country gospel show on Sunday mornings, as well as a classic country show as well that he does over there. So, and Josh, you suddenly look very confused right now.
Oh, just the camera's doing something funky with shadowing.
No, again.
It's making you look like you have lizard skin on top of your arm.
Anyhow, but yeah, so looking forward to doing that joint show with him on Tuesday night over there on the Fence Line Country. So be sure to head over and check that out. Richie Redneck Pimp King checking out. So good to see you, brother, and take care. We'll talk to you here later on. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our next segment with a special news update, shall we? man, this one comes to us out of News Center, Maine. NBC affiliate up there. Headline reads, you guys are going to love this one. New Hampshire police chief. Oh, there's John.
Yeah, John left and came back apparently.
Apparently.
No, we lost the YouTube feed.
What in the hell?
We lost live feed.
It
No.
stopped. I just watched it live. Shut down.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on now, but it shut down. I promise you.
Weird.
Yeah, I saw that too, John. It shut down and came back.
Yeah, anyhow. So Richard Lee has been chief of the small town of Croydon for 20 years. On Tuesday night, the 3-member select board voted to eliminate the one-man department and move to 100% coverage by the New Hampshire State Police. Lee, who was at the meeting, was told to turn in the key to his cruiser, his guns, and his uniform immediately. He went into an office he shared with town officials and took off his clothes before the board chairman. I gave them my uniform shirt. I gave them my turtleneck. I gave them my ballistic vest. I sat down in the chair, took off my boots, took off my pants, put those in the chair, and put my boots back on and walked out the door, Lee said. He didn't leave spare clothes, or he didn't have spare clothes or a ride home. He walked nearly a mile before his wife picked him up. Lee said that if he had left with his gear, he didn't want to face the possibility of being arrested. As he took off his clothes, he said, the chairman said he didn't have to do that, but Lee said those were the orders. Lee said he is discussing what happened with his attorney. Phone messages were left seeking comment from the from Chairman Russell Edwards and the 2 other selectmen, Ian Underwood and Joseph Marco.
Wow.
Hats off to this guy.
That's making a statement, all right.
That is making a statement. Well, you know what? They told him that he had to have that stuff turned back in immediately. Doesn't get very much more immediately than that. So, I mean...
Touche, good sir. Touche.
Exactly. But, you know, that's just... Brr, walks out in the middle of a snowstorm and nothing but boots and his skivvies.
At least he had boots on.
Yeah, I know,
So he didn't
right?
get frostbite on his toes.
Good thing the department didn't issue his underwear.
Oh, I know.
Then he-
Yeah, I'm like, can you imagine if a Joe had done that? Oh, that would have been bad because, I mean, they even issue you your underwear. Or at least they did back in the day. I don't know if they still do or not.
Well, they issue you your boots for sure, right?
Yeah. So you literally would be naked as a jaybird strutting down the street.
Well, unless
Give me your
you're
birthday suit.
Unless you're a tenured soldier, and then most tenured soldiers have bought their own shit at some point, you know.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
The uniform that I wore every day towards the end of my time, you know, was mine. I bought it. Boots I bought.
Yeah, exactly. Everything that I had when I retired, I had purchased myself over time. So, but yeah. Mariah, you got any thoughts to add in on this story? Because this guy just bumped himself up to legend status as far as I'm concerned.
all I can say is I hope he didn't get frostbite on his wank. That's all I can say.
What is it with you and wank?
His poor wife. I mean,
John
can you
says it too.
imagine?
Yeah, but
You
John's
what?
English or half English.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
Whatever.
he's full blood.
Josh says, "What is up with me using the word wank?"
She did it last
Well,
episode.
I mean,
too.
the thought has crossed my mind too. I was more wondering what you said about me saying wank, because I never say wank.
I don't know.
And you're full English.
I guess it's just
I don't speak with an English accent, so.
it's better than saying something else in my mind.
What, hang dang?
Johnson?
Dingle
Say,
dangle?
don't touch your dangle.
We're not getting into this.
Thank you. Thank
Pick
you.
up your dangle dangle. Tuck it in your shirt.
It takes balls to be able to walk in there, strip down
Well,
to
he damn near showed him, so.
strip down to just your underwear and walk out. That's
Balls, you say? Were they moist balls?
Oh my god! I hope he had a wheelbarrow to carry those cast steel balls of his, dude, out the door.
It might have been moist outside. Hopefully they didn't rust.
I don't know, but it's just wow.
Josh, you got anything to add on this one?
Well, I'm glad he didn't happen to run into any.
Humping bears.
That would have been a bad day for him.
I wonder what his wife was thinking when she picked him up.
Yeah, I
too.
know, right? Now the thing is, they
Now,
did
did she
say,
warm him up? That's what I want to know.
I hope so for his sake.
You know what scene comes to mind is the movie Old School.
Oh
Frank
my god!
Tank running through the quad. Frank, what the hell are you doing? We're streaking. We're going through the quad up to the gymnasium. Who's streaking?
We are.
Everyone's doing it. Frank, get in the car.
Or could be worse. He could have wound, talk about the humping bears. In that case, he would have wound up like, oh boy, on that movie Out Cold, where he woke up in the middle of the woods and freaking wakes up that big old black bear freaking having his way with it. Like, oh God. It's horrible. Yeah. Horrible outdoor event.
I mean, think about that though, why they would just up and do that immediately. I mean, they're not giving the guy any notice whatsoever. It's not like he had done a terrible job, or they're not. At least the article doesn't say that.
This is in New Hampshire.
And what I actually kind of find interesting about the department itself is that it's this small town or whatever, and it says that it was a one-man department. Mm-hmm. So he was it. Yeah, it was just him. No matter what. Yeah. But not even giving him any options or anything like that. Again, at least from reading this story.
Is it for Bernie Sanders state?
No, that's Vermont.
Vermont, that's right.
The land of the Super Troopers.
That's right.
Just
I was
saying.
about to call them police haters then, if that was Bernie Sanders state, because that would just make sense.
Yeah, exactly. It'll make complete and total sense. So anyhow, that wraps up for that story. So now let's go ahead and move into our next segment, known as Dummy of the Week. Hit it, good sir.
I'll spell it for you. D-U-M-M-Y.
Shut up, dummy.
You big dummy.
For every man, there's a woman.
And for every dummy, there's a dummy. Dummy.
And now, your Dummy of the Week on BV Nation Radio.
All right, take it away.
All right, for your Dummy of the Week this week, this was on February 19th. The headline is from ABC News. Headline reads, man with huge forehead tattoo saying, quote, crime pays. Back in jail again after police chase.
Please tell me he's from Florida.
No.
No.
We've actually never had one from this state, I don't think. So, a man with a huge tattoo on his forehead that says crime pays has found himself locked up behind bars again after leading police on a short police chase before being arrested.
Yeah.
Donald Murray. You jumped the gun.
I didn't jump the gun.
Donald Murray, 38, of Terre Haute, Indiana, allegedly led authorities.
Allegedly.
That's what I said. Do you want to read this?
Would you like me to?
Sure, go ahead.
You missed the entire joke to it. Allegedly.
Yes, I know the joke.
Allegedly.
Led authorities in a short pursuit on February 17th and was arrested a short time after and charged with several crimes. Murray was charged with resisting felony, resisting misdemeanor, reckless driving, possession of methamphetamine, maintaining a common nuisance, and auto theft. The Terre Haute Police Department said in a statement on Facebook, this is the second time in just a few months that Murray has been arrested. He first came to notoriety when he was featured on an episode of
None other than
Live PD late last year, when he was chased by authorities for driving without any lights and then crashed into a tree and escaped on foot.
Yes, he was.
He was apprehended a short time later and allegedly told police officers that he didn't know what his name was.
It's tattooed right there on your forehead.
Murray is now being held on $15,000 bond following the latest chase, and it's scheduled to appear in court on Friday, according to jail records.
So previously, when he was on
Can you
Live
put his
PD.
picture up, please?
Oh, this guy.
I did.
You did?
I had it. Oh,
It was up.
Okay.
Oh, I missed
not
it.
pay any attention to anything. Jesus. Anyways, so this guy.
This guy.
This guy.
Crime.
So yeah, so he was actually just released out in January, like
End of
mid-January,
late January, yeah.
and just like they normally do, right? Release people all the time, and of course he's right back out there, mething it up again. And
Yeah,
done
evidently he
messed
can't
up.
stay away from the crime.
well, yeah, he's just methed up.
Kind of like our dummy of the year last year. Same guy that we reported on 3 different times for 3 different.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You got the Terre Haute.
That's just.
And what's even better is that if you scroll down in the article, they actually have the video clip from
Live
the
PD.
episode of Live PD.
As we went off the air
Are we
last night,
allowed
Terre
to-
Haute police were involved in an intense high-speed pursuit with a driver who was operating his vehicle without any lights. The driver eventually crashed into a tree and escaped on foot. Now, the passenger told cops he didn't know the driver's
You mean
name.
I wrecked my
After
car,
getting a tip from a
you
Live
mean?
PD viewer who was watching last night, police now believe they know who he is. They think his name is Don
Oh,
Williams.
look.
He's now facing charges of
What a
felony criminal
winner.
recklessness and felony resisting law
Does he have
enforcement.
a, does he have a
Any
dick
information
tattooed
on
on the
Murray's
right side of
whereabouts,
his
please
face?
call Vigo County
I don't
Central
know.
Dispatch
Doesn't look like
at
it.
812-232-1311.
Tattooed on his face.
He shouldn't be hard to spot.
No,
I mean, look at this
he
guy.
shouldn't
It's pretty sad.
I mean,
And he's been caught again.
what would possess somebody? I'm not into tattoos and all that really, but what would possess somebody to tattoo "crime pays" across their forehead?
I have no
Maybe
idea.
they just want to stand out.
Oh, that's
Somebody
definitely
that is
one way to
messed
stand
up.
out. What's that?
It's a person that is messed up.
Very messed up.
You know what? This is probably the guy. He's incognitus that probably raped that beaver.
Travel from Terre Haute to Kennewick and back, all with no lights on. I'm just
It's just.
In a van down by the river.
I don't get how people are that stupid to do something like that.
that's
They're
why.
messed up.
Yes, thank you.
That's
what they are.
They are our dummy of the week.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And they're gum 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 gum.
If you do something that dumb,
You
You're-
give me gum gum.
you're gonna get caught one way or another, and sooner or later
One
you will
way-
get caught.
Or another, it will happen.
Exactly.
Hell, Johnny Law will catch up with you eventually. It will happen.
We're a bunch of asshole lawyers taking up the entire hallway with our conversation. You played the law and order.
But this is a this is a problem across the country though, where these guys go out, guys and gals, go out, commit crimes, they go to jail, they've got to go show up to court or whatever else,
Right.
but they get released, they go back out, they do the exact same things again over and over and over again, and
German's there.
There's no consequence for them.
well, I mean there
I mean, there is,
there,
but not.
there is, but there isn't, right? So
Right.
you can't you can't put everybody in jail. We just
Yeah.
we don't have the room, right?
Yep.
We don't have the ability to do it. But it just seems to me like for certain habitual offenders that you would get
Habitual line steppers,
something.
in the words of Charlie Murphy.
My opinion, habitual offenders should not be. In some cases, yes, should be capital punished. But I think capital punishment should involve lobotomy.
Oh, it used to. It used to way back when, but they deemed it inhumane, and they wound up saying, "Yeah, that kind of violates the Eighth Amendment as cruel and unusual punishment." So that's why they quit doing that.
It's cruel and unusual punishment to society to let these people continue dumbasses too. That's why lobotomy is not a bad idea.
Well, maybe we could just
Hey,
go
guess
with
what? You're not taking their life from them. You're just making them a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go with like the whole total recall idea, right? Where you just get like a brain wipe and you get a new memory and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, and I mean that was kind of the idea behind lobotomy at one point was, we can erase the brain. Unfortunately, it erased everything.
Yeah.
it turned you into a cinder block.
Basically, 'cause I mean, all they do is just pretty much separate the frontal lobe from the rest of your brain. Was all they would do. It's if you don't know how the process works, you're
alive and functioning.
It's just a little freaking stake and a hammer that they actually take it through the eye socket and go up at an angle, and one tap separates that membrane in between the frontal lobe cortex and the rest of your brain. And
you go from, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Sad thing is, that is exactly what it is. And they would put people in freaking asylums for the rest of their lives because they were no longer a functioning member of society. They were no longer functioning, period. So,
you know what? A criminal like this, that is a habitual offender, in my opinion, they're no longer a functional member of society. So how is that cruel and unusual punishment?
Is inhumane. That's why.
I get that it's inhumane.
Allegedly.
I
inhumane for them to continue to be our dummy of the week on society. You know what I mean?
You okay over there, Mariah? Wow, you usually can hold it together really well.
No, just the fact that I know exactly what she's saying. She's trying to say that we have the new John Pardos.
Leroy Jenkins.
Oh man, stop! Oh my God, how? How can you say something like that?
I didn't say it, you did.
No, but I know exactly where you're going with it.
Moist.
No, you don't.
Then share, please share, because
Karen.
you apparently have lost it on there. So now you got to spill the beans. Come on, we only got like a little over 10 minutes left of the show, so we got to get on with it.
How do you guys say that? You're talking about the frontal lobe and everything, and how it makes you just. And then John comes on.
Oh my God! I think that was part of the act.
It made me lose it. Okay.
Wait, I can do this.
John, no.
Yes. Aliens. And the fact that his hair is actually almost that length now
like way long.
is priceless. Yes.
Yeah, trim that bush there, you hippie.
I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
Is there something wrong with our comment feed, or?
I'm back.
I don't know. I've refreshed it like 3 different times on the big screen in here, and there's the last comment I see is, sorry about that, guys. Don't know what the heck happened. High tech. That's the last comment I have. So
Okay, I got it together again, so we can move on.
That's weird. But anyways,
that was plain weird.
But it was so small and so insignificant that it didn't do any damage. It didn't even knock a tree branch off. It just sprayed water all over me and went away.
That's what she said.
Because it was a big bastard.
No,
yeah,
I think
it's a big bastard.
If it was a big bastard, it wouldn't be small and insignificant.
It's like retardedly huge, man.
Yeah,
It's
that's
still working.
massive.
Yeah, apparently the feed is still working, so Mariah just texted in on it, so I don't know. Maybe we just ran everyone off with our whole we're doing like 1700 back in the day.
Anyway,
moving right along. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get ready to close this thing on out. So, John, you're up first, brother.
Sweet. Safety brief time.
Oh, here we go.
Don't be your wives. Don't be your husbands. Don't add to society. Don't take away from society. Stay safe out there. If you're gonna play on the field, put on a raincoat. It might get moist. With that, you guys, please go check out ericsarmory.com. Please check them out at Facebook at Eric's Armory. Please check them out at their Instagram at Eric's Armory. Please like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us out immensely. If you guys want to see the content that we want to bring to you guys, please hit that subscribe button. There's something in it for our wonderful viewers that is potentially going to be coming up in the not too far distant future. So smash that like and subscribe button, you guys. Also,
he said
get off the couch, get out of the house, get out in the outdoors. my shoulder is getting better. I'm getting out in the outdoors as soon as I freaking can. Like, yeah. And also stay tuned for updates on the rifle and other raffle items that are coming for the event, plus bands and everything else for G4S and for benefiting TFO. With that, have a good evening, good week, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, Mariah, what do you got?
Get out and about. The weather's starting to turn, so that's awesome for us. Even though it's a little bit rainy still on some days, that's okay. It's still warming up. Other than that, make sure you're taking care of animals and everything, and that they still have some shelter available for the rain and all that, so that they don't get soaking wet.
Don't you mean moist?
Oh my God, you guys are killing her.
Other than that, hopefully J-Dub has a couple good shows this week, and I have a couple plans to hang out with some friends and everything to get out and about and all that. So, other than that, have a great week, everyone.
All right, High Tech.
Yeah, kind of ditto to that. Get out with the family, get out with the friends, go and do something. We ran around setting up stuff for the studio and all that here last day or so, and went out to dinner and went and did that daddy-daughter dance and stuff. I mean, those are the moments in life you can't pass up. And you never know who you're going to meet out there and everything too. You might be a new best friend, might be an old best friend. You never know. So get
Buffalo Rancher, maybe.
It could be a Buffalo Rancher. You never know. You never know. In the oddest of places too. I would never have thought that Redland Ranch had buffalo.
Yeah.
Could be a guy with an epic mustache.
Wait. Are they buffalo or are those water buffalo? Because I know they used to have water buffalo out there.
Buffalo.
Tatonkas.
Yes.
Beefalo.
And there's another one.
Right?
There's another farm that's out off of Springwater too.
I knew about that one.
Baker's Ferry.
Yeah.
Or Baker's Cabin. Yeah. But just again, get off the couch, get out of your own head, and go out and do something. Be a productive member of society, and don't tattoo crime pays across your forehead. Thank you.
Hey,
right? I was actually going to mention that too.
Society and don't take away from society.
Yeah. Don't be a no regrets type of guy where you tattoo
something
no regrets or crime pays across your forehead and wind up being on live PD. And what the hell is going on with our feed?
It's trying to crash again. So
I don't know what is going on with the feed tonight, but yeah, is what it is. So
Firefall just messaged me and said it keeps cutting out for her.
Yeah.
Oh. The Harambe.
He just joined in.
Yeah, finally here at the end.
It keeps trying
Bless
to crash.
his heart. So anyhow, but no, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Big shout out again to our sponsors over at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com. Thank you to all the folks that are helping once again. For big shout out for John for helping work with those vendors and stuff for Air Precision, 6 Hour, and many, many more for getting that rifle put together. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. And can't wait to see you guys out there for G4S. I will talk to you guys on Tuesday night on the Fence Line Country. We will be starting early on that show. That will be starting at 6 o'clock to 9 versus 7 to 9, since I will have a guest on with me. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. Looking forward to it. And we will talk to you guys right back here with all of us in studio for the first time in a while, right here on BB Nation Radio. Have a good night, guys. We will talk to y'all next Sunday night, right back here on BB Nation Radio. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Do it. Do it now. We out. Have a good night, guys.
This has been another episode of BB Nation Radio here on Backwoods Veterans Media.